Well, hello friends, this is the last episode of our backyard for the summer, but I wanted to share some books that I thought you might be interested when you're in the library again. You might want to come and check out some of these things. So in the backyard you can find some creepy bugs, and this is cool because it shows you, we see these bugs all the time, but they're so tiny we don't really get to know them, and this has some really close-up pictures of some bugs that are really tiny creatures, but they blow them up real big so that you can enjoy them more. Okay, this book is called Science Everywhere: Seeds, Bulbs, Plants, and Flowers. And it shows you a lot of different kinds of creatures and plants, and butterflies, and some things to do. Okay. These books are from downstairs in the grown-up department, but it has a lot of great information. If you and your super special grown-ups are interested in starting a garden of your own, you can learn a lot from these two books. And I'm going to end up with some talking about rocks, because we haven't done enough of that. Here's a nice book. I'm not going to read this to you because it has a lot of text, but some wonderful pictures too. So this is another book we have here at the library that you might be interested in looking at. And finally, the book that I want to share with you today is called A Rock is Lively by Diana Hutz Aston and Sylvia Long. And here are all kinds of rocks. You might have seen these in the Carnegie Museum or some other museum that you might visit. All different rocks. It's called A Rock is Lively. A rock is lively. This is obsidian, which is a very dark black rock, and you can see some bits of white have clung to that. Bubbling up like a pot of soup deep beneath the earth's crust, molten, liquid, boiling. And that's how a rock starts out. It's in the center of the earth, and then it makes its way up through the layers and deposits that melted rock. All rocks are made of a mix of ingredients called minerals. Just as a batter of flour, butter, and sugar makes a cookie, a batter of minerals makes a rock. So here are the things that are in the batter that created this rock. There's lazurite, calcite, sodalite, and pyrite, and all of these mixed together and became this beautiful rock that we refer to as lapis lazuli. It says mix the mineral lazurite with a dash of sodalite, a pinch of calcite and pyrite, and then you will get this beautiful rock. A rock is galactic. A lot of rocks come from outer space, and when they land on our soil, we call them asteroids, meteoroids. A rock is old. I know you can't see it from that distance, but every single one of these rocks is over 1 billion years old. That's a long time. A rock is huge. This is one great big rock down in Australia. And then if you look at some rocks, some sand and whatever, close up, you'll see tiny little bits of rock. I find stuff like that in my garden all the time. A rock is helpful. These chickens are swallowing some small rocks so that it helps them chew up their food better. This bird is dropping a rock on some eggs to make it crack open. Crocodiles and seals eat rocks so that extra weight can help them dive deeper into the water. Sea otters lie on their backs and use rocks to crack open shells on their stomachs. Seagulls drop mollusks into the rocks to break apart their shells. Chimpanzees and crows crack the hard shells of nuts on rocks. A rock is surprising. Some rocks need to be broken open to reveal their beauty. Geodes, round, hollow rocks found mostly in deserts or in beds of volcanic ash, hide sparkly crystals. The crystals were once liquid, but trapped inside the rock for thousands of years, they changed into jewels of many colors. All right. A rock is inventive. Long ago, humans chiseled rocks into sharp-edged weapons and tools. Today, humans use tools to make cement and bricks, paper and pencils, glass and toothpicks. They use toothpaste. They use rocks. A rock is creative. Tens of thousands of years ago, before there was writing, ancient peoples told stories through symbols. With colors made from rich minerals, they painted pictographs on the cave walls. Look at these amazing images that they created. They chipped and pecked the surface of stones to make petroglyphs. That's what those are called. In more recent history, artists and builders have chiseled great sculptures and monuments from all kinds of rock. You may have read about the pyramids, the Easter Island, Stonehenge, and then more recently, Mount Rushmore, Statue of David, the Taj Mahal. A rock is recycled. A rock doesn't hurry. Over thousands of millions of years, it changes from one form to another. This is called the rock cycle. In a process called erosion, a rock is squashed and squished and scraped by glaciers, whirled by waves and rain, and pushed deep into the earth until it returns back down under the volcano into the magma. And there it is, the end. So thank you for being with us with the nature display all this season, and I hope you follow up with some of these books on your own. All right, take care. Okay, so here's a little bit of the backyard, and down, following this chain down, you'll see there's a bunch of rocks down here, and I like to keep those rocks nice and wet because butterflies like to come and sit on the rocks. They don't like to be in the water, but they come and sit on the rocks and sip some water that way. So I'm going to take you down the hill and show you a couple other things. So now we're going to leave right where we started off at the beginning of this adventure. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite spots. Right there. It's a little covered up now with this pokeweed plants all over the place. But here is a very special place for me. As you can see, there are a lot of creatures and microbes. I may have shared this with you at the beginning of the summer, but some of these things have grown and flourished a little more. And I just wanted to say that this is an old rotting stump right now, but you can tell by the size of the stump that at one time it was a big tree, and it went up and up and up. And now there's a few trees up there that are trying to fill the space left by this tree. So if you haven't read the Shel Silverstein book called The Giving Tree, I urge you to try that out. And this I always think of as my very own giving tree. And if you read the story, you'll understand that. Well, it's been a wonderful summer. I loved sharing different places, different spaces, different creatures with you. And I can't wait to see what we do next. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.